Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so today I'm going to go over my 2026 predictions for both Dawsonville and kind of the real estate market as a whole. And so here are my thoughts. So I believe that we will see a continued growth in Dawsonville. I think that we had really solid growth over the past year. We saw 6% growth, and compare that to Cumming, Georgia, which was a 7% growth. So both of those towns had really solid growth. But compare that to across the lake at Gainesville, Georgia, you only had a 1% population growth. So 6 and 7% are really big, pretty big jumps in population growth since 2020. Over the past 5 years, we've actually had a 30% growth in population, which is pretty crazy. So I think we're going to continue to see the population grow. You're going to keep seeing these new developments popping up. Probably see a lot more townhomes. And we are likely to, I'm sorry, I'm trying this teleprompter thing. It's really distracting me. So it's like not doing what it says it's going to do. Let me just shut that off. That's super annoying. All right, moving on. So pricing. I think that we're going to see that pricing is going to hold steady with increase. Basically, we're going to see hopefully lower interest rates if Trump picks a new Fed chairman, which he will. He's going to pick someone who is going to lower the rates. So let's hope that we see lower interest rates continue this year, which is pretty exciting. So hopefully you'll see more demand come back into the market, because right now we have a lot of inventory. So hopefully we'll start to see that inventory move. But I think we're going to get the demand to match it. So I think pricing kind of bottomed out in 2025. 2025 was a pretty crappy year to sell. Let's be real. It was not fun for a lot of us realtors and a lot of sellers. But I think 2026 is going to be better. I think the pricing is going to hold steady with potentially a slight increase. Let's move on to... Oh, there's my pricing stable and continue growth. See my cool little banners. I'm so savvy. Okay, so let me move on to short-term rentals. So Dawsonville, I wouldn't say we're like the hotbed for short-term rentals, but we're kind of at the foothills of a lot of the short-term rental markets. So I do work in a lot of the short-term rental markets. That's definitely a specialty of mine. But Dawsonville still has a good number of short-term rentals, Airbnbs. So let's talk about that for a moment. I think what we're going to see there is a mass exodus of the mom and pop short-term rental operators. And I think you're going to see who swoops in to buy those, both second home individuals who just want a second home, but a new kind of demographic are folks who are high income earners. These are your doctors, lawyers, Wall Street, who are looking for a tax strategy with the bonus depreciation loophole, which thanks to the big beautiful bill is now 100%, whereas it used to do kind of staggered, like stair step down over year. Now it stays at 100%. So I'm not a CPA, so go ask your CPA about this, but I've already started to get calls out of the blue, leads that are, on Wall Street, wherever, who are like, I need to find a short-term rental ASAP. So this is definitely a new kind of, like, they're starting to get savvy on this tax strategy. Sorry, my husband just got home. Okay. And then let's move on to the next one. So that was my short-term rentals. I wanted to talk quickly about opportunity zones as well. So this is kind of more for my real estate investors. So let's just touch on that. Again, the big beautiful bill has a lot of real estate stuff in it. So this is part of it. One of the mandates on the big beautiful bill is that all the governors in every state have to announce new opportunity zones. So look out for that because the deadline is July 1st for them to announce those opportunity zones and I guess go live with them. So this is an opportunity to get in before everyone gets wind that these are hotbeds for they have so opportunity zones are again as your CPA because they're going to have tax incentives and it's a good opportunity to make an equity play because oftentimes the valuation of the property, whether it's land or commercial property or just a home within the opportunity zone, will increase, sometimes by quite a bit and sometimes very quickly. So keep that in mind if you're looking to make an equity play for an investment. Look out for new opportunity zones being announced in your state, and Georgia will have them by July 1st. Let me go over, last but not least, I want to talk about rural zones. So Dawsonville, as of last year, beginning of last year, was actually named a new rural zone. Okay. Now, rural zones are sort of similar to opportunity zones with the tax incentives and grants and renovation incentives. But the difference is this is more for commercial. So this is going to be like if you're looking to open up a business location in a rural zone and employ, I think it's at least 2 people, or maybe you want to go in and renovate a commercial property. I know in Dawsonville, there are some really cool old historic properties that are in the commercial designated zone. So that would count for the rural zone. Sorry, he's doing something else. Okay, I'll wrap this up. So look out for rural zones. Again, Dawsonville is now a rural zone. So this is an opportunity. I think we're going to see, it only lasts for 5 years, the designation. So all these developers only have 5 years to take advantage of this rural zone status in Dawsonville. And the only other rural zone really kind of in our area is going to be like up in Hiawassee. So there's not a lot of rural zones around in our kind of region. So this is an opportunity, and I think we're going to see Dawsonville kind of hopefully come alive a little more and have more of a cool, downtown. Okay, those are my thoughts for 2026, and thanks for tuning in. I am your Living in Dawsonville realtor, all things investment, and just reach out to me if you have any short-term rental questions or small multifamily questions. I got you back. Okay, bye. Have a good day.